Crow. Okay. All right. So, all right. So it's telling me you see a raven. All right. Fine. As long as you don't see a raven. You can do anything I already know. All right. So Windows Update today. Yeah. So that's why I'm a half an hour late. Funny thing is, I rebooted based on the update 10 minutes before our webinar was to start. So I've actually been doing this for 40 minutes. Yay! Yeah. Aye. It is Thursday, January 12th, 2017. Oh, wait. All right. So Marv says, Wayne, I thought you said you don't trade Euro Yen because I'm bear on both. Apparently, you've missed the last 20 webinars. So I don't know where you've been, buddy, but I've been trying to buy Japanese yen for 3 weeks. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Where have you been? So, anyways, without further ado, let's get going. I gotta just manually set all this stuff up. So let's start with the happy music, since I want to throw kittens against a brick wall. Um, yeah, that's very frustrated, huh? Do not be mean to animals. I love animals, and animals love me, but not in that way.
Life is grand, life is great, life is good, life is beautiful. You gotta give it all you got, everything you got to give. Now try time to live. Life is grand, life is
Yeah, but
great,
a few weeks ago has nothing to do with today. We're buying Japanese yen, and I hate the euro. So if I'm buying Japanese yen, I want to sell pound yen, I want to sell euro yen. Cool. Let me remind you that trading Forex is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. I do these sessions every single day, Monday through Thursday, here at Forex.Today, and every Friday at FX Street. We do this right before, a couple hours before the New York Open. It's a good time to get together and collaborate as a community. It's free at Forex.Today. It costs you money at FXStreet.com. I'm also Forex Speaker of the Year, and I love you. You're my sweet baby. I'm here for you every single day. I appreciate the effort that you put in to trading. I really do. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, but I'm trying to be your guiding light in a world of darkness. But you still have to do the work. Okay? Yeah, the meeting minutes. You have this right here. Yeah, read the meeting minutes. It's your job, right? See, they talk about US dollar, they talk about Japanese yen, they talk about Swiss franc. See, that's why you read these reports, man. They're very interesting. Blah 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 blah. Just keep reading, read, 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 read. What you don't understand, research on your own time. Cool. So, anyways, does everyone get the concept that we are buying Japanese yen? Um, since I did shared my analysis from the foot of a volcano, right? So we're looking to buy Japanese yen, and so what currencies do I hate the most? Even though I'm a lover, not a fighter, I'm a lover. But which ones do I love the least? Euro and pound, right? Why? Euro has structural problems. There's no reason to own a euro. They have just a mess. of political and social problems. And they're getting to a point now with all the elections and stuff. They've kicked the can. Actually, let's talk about that for a second since it just hit me. Remember how they used to just kick the can down the road? Like, let's kind of deal with Greece some other time. Let's just deal with Spain some other time. Let's just deal with, the coming Brexit some other time. And all of a sudden, Brexit actually hit them. You know, they just kicked the can down the line, right? Wasn't that how they dealt with Greece for years? Let's regroup 8 months from now. Let's regroup another 8 months from now, right? Am I the only one that thinks that that was their strategy for almost everything in the last 10 years? Just whatever you do, don't deal with it now, right? Well, what's the end result? Nothing has been fixed. But the one thing that has changed is that politicians have now run out of time and there are elections. People are so freaked out and upset and disappointed that you're going to get populist, crazy psychopaths in power. And they deal with it in maybe not so good ways. I don't know. But they can't kick the can down the road anymore, right? So I don't know. Good job, Europe, for doing nothing. It's too bad. Really, it is. It's too bad. I honestly, 10 years ago, when I spoke about the euro, I loved the euro. I loved everything about it. I thought they were doing a grand experiment and it was going to work. And they were just going to rewrite the rules. They were going to look at what really worked well in the United States of America, where they united all the different colonies and created a federal government to oversee, but still give power to each individual colony, right? Great. And that somehow Europe could look at that and say, well, what worked well, right? What worked well and what didn't work so well? What would Europeans want? How would it be the same as the United States, but how should it be different? And I thought, you know what? They're going to build something similar, but fix all the mistakes, and it's going to be great. Honestly, that was my sales pitch 10 years ago. And then I get to Europe. I can tell you exactly. It was 2007 at the FX Street Traders Conference. I'm sitting there with a bunch of European professional traders from various countries across Europe, and they all hated the euro. And it dawned on me that that's the problem. Too bad, huh? Hey, could we not get like the jokey names and stuff? This is my job. I know we're all having fun and stuff, and I like to sing and dance and tell jokes. Great. But this is my job. You're in my office. Could we keep it professional? Okay. Like no Donald Trump login and stuff. Let's keep it professional, huh? You can go Facebook somewhere else, but this is more like LinkedIn. But anyways, yeah. So I don't love the greenback, but it makes a lot of sense for me to own greenbacks, right? Maybe not today, maybe not right at this moment, but yeah. Okay. So we knew trends were likely to change coming into this early part of January. So because things are changing doesn't mean it changes forever, but there are reasons for all these things. So, anyways, yesterday's Trump conference moved the market, right? And it came back, and I sold it at the monthly pivot. So, because the monthly pivot's there, you can't quite see it, but you can see I I am in a position here, and you also can't see it because my stop's at 122 even. I'll probably get knocked out. I'm okay with it. Um, but my stop originally I think was way up here, and I moved it when I was up like 30 or 40 pips. Moved it break even. I'll be honest with you. I went to bed early last night. I haven't slept more than 3 or 4 hours per night in a very long time. So I decided last night just to jam my stop and go to bed. So it looks like I was up almost 100 pips, and now I'm only up 25 pips. Oh well, that's what happens when you're not doing your job, right? Oh well, but that's trading for you. So I have that one at break even, and sure, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, right? It'll work out. It's not a bad place to sell though, right? You notice it was after the oh, I guess you can't tell. Anyways, you can see that it moved and it was very patient, 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 patient. And I sold in right in here. Okay. It must have been after the touch and drop. So right there on it. Right? I mean, it makes sense, right? If I gave you this chart, you would understand it, right? You wouldn't look at it and say, what the heck? You sold it here at 122,000 on a retracement? Right? I mean, but that is the point, right? Like, make sure your trading makes sense. I remember a longtime follower of mine that was here every single day for years. Um, I analyzed his trading history, and I'm like, so you're short euro dollar, but you're long euro yen. He's like, yeah, 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 yeah. Um, uh, why? Oh well, the 5-8 cross and blah 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 blah. Like, you're buying and selling euro at the same time. At best, your results will be mediocre, right? At best, right? At worst, you'll lose on both sides. So, anyways, your trading needs to make sense. For example, you should look at trade history and say, oh, I can see over the course of the last several weeks that this trader has been buying US dollars. And that makes sense to me because of blah, 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 blah. I mean, your trading should tell the story. So, what story does your trading tell you, right? Right now, the trading story should be holy smokes, this guy's been selling Japanese yen for like 90 days straight. Now he's buying them all back. He's buying, gobbling up, out of all the short positions, and now just, you know, now just long Japanese yen on everything. Like, wow. But I get it. I could see the change of direction, right? The change of trend. I could see double tops and drops or whatever. Like, I get it. Oh, that makes sense to me. Yeah, Ben, we talked about that yesterday. The correlation has been um, on and off on that right between oil and CAD. But you can see that it's more traditional in direction today. But I think it was just yesterday we were looking at it. Oil was down and CAD was up, and yeah, and it was a situation where, well, the CAD news was positive for more positive for the Canadian dollar than the falling oil prices were. But we also knew, right, that we were at support for oil yesterday, right? So let me ask you, why were we at support yesterday on oil? We It was the target. Remember, we set it up sell at 55, target 52, right? It went from 55 to 54, then bounced, then went from, right? Then went from that level to 53, then bounced, and went from 53 to 52. And yesterday we were staring at it and went to like 51.50 or something, but still hit the target of 52. What do you think happens? Or what do you think can happen? Because obviously nothing always happens. One thing that always happens is nothing ever happens always. Well, a bear is going to take profit and a bull could possibly buy. And if you did anything else, it's because you were either not a bull or a bear or you're just not trading. But think of it. If that's our target, you're supposed to take profit. And if there's a bull there and all the bears got out, well, obviously there's a vulnerability to, you know, a bullish move or something, right? I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? If all the bears go away, the bulls can come out and play. Now, we don't know if that's going to happen, but we knew that that was the area in which it would happen, right? I mean, otherwise, why was it a target? Oh, well, Wayne likes his funny numbers and his pretty colors. No! It's a target for everybody. WT, what is that? What WT that? What? Jimmy says inventories should have dropped, but first, but didn't. Things are going. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. So, anyways, you can see Canadian dollar is stronger here, right, over the last day and a half or something. And then you look at oil, as Mr. Bush, President Bush would say. But look, here's our target, the green zone. I think you can kind of see it in there, right? These are all different moves and different waves and stuff. But this is where we were supposed to take profit. That's where we were supposed to take profit. That is the profit zone. And the reason we have these little rules is because everybody trades these rules. It's what you're supposed to do. Now, it could, yes, it could have fallen further, right? Let's just pretend we're on our way to 45. Now, I believe I said 50 was plausible, but 45 not likely. I'm pretty sure I said that. Okay? But what kind of scenario would we get if it does break lower than 51? It would have to lower high again. So let's take it off the weekly and let's drop it here. All right? Right? Nick says, could it be a place? It's a horrific place to buy. This is the most ridiculous, redonkulous, stupidest, makes no senses place to buy ever. This is the worst place to buy you could possibly pick. Right. So look, we do have fun. I hope you always take my, my exaggerations with tongue in cheek. Uh, but at least maybe I can talk to your subconscious, right? If I can make you laugh, or even if I make you upset, doesn't matter. I end up talking to your subconscious too. Yeah, tears the rest of the day. But look, this is the most stupid place you could possibly buy this. Have we made a higher high? No. So if you were going to buy it because you were so aggressively as a bull, where are you going to buy it? Where, at resistance? Come on, Mr. T. If you were going to buy it because you were very bullish on oil, and that's fine. I accept that. You can be. Okay? So that part I accept. It doesn't matter. So if you were going to do that, how do you get into that trade? Come on, Nikki. Wait for a higher high, or because if you do that, you have to wait a day or two, or three. So if you were aggressive because you had some piece of alpha that just said, buy oil, I gotta get oil, I need some oil. How do you get in? Well, but see the higher low is also, yeah, that's okay. That's sort of the second opportunity. If you were aggressive Now let me simplify it then. Do you buy at resistance? So where can you buy? At support. Cool. So as an aggressive bull, where's the support? Now, obviously, and I don't know if I can do it on this time frame, but it's this green zone, right? Will it reset? I thought they reset. Oh, bless my mouse. Where's my mouse? I thought it resets. No? Anyways, the green zone is down in here, right? 52. It's why it was our target, right? Oh, good. It popped and reset. Good, right? So we already knew it was in there. It's not really the psych level, it's the pivot profit zone. And then you say, oh, 52 is in the pivot profit zone. All right, fine. So what we talked about like on Monday, guys, Monday, was a target of 52, selling for a target of 52. Well, if you're not a bear and you're a bull, you're looking at it and you're like, well, if we hit 52 in the middle of the week, I'm going to buy it back with the target of the weekly central. How many people know that's what you do? If you're looking at your weekly target on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, it's going to counter trend back to the central pivot point. How many people know that's been taught since the last 12 years of me doing this? Right? Yeah. So if you don't know, that's fine. Now you're learning. Okay. AC's new to this. Cool. Well, Joe, now I know. Well, Joe, is it Hojo or Hoho? How would you say that in Spanish? Because it'd be ho 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 ho. Joe, Joe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like Hojo. Sounds like a samurai. Yeah, no, that's your name, huh? Hojo. I like that. Hojo. Hojo, put that down. Don't clean your room, Hojo. Yeah, I could even get it. Move. Yeah, cool. No, honestly, I like that. Hojo. Sounds very warrior like. That's funny. Howard Johnson. It's funny. Yeah. So, anyways, so all of this stuff, like, look, that's the target for the bears, and any bear that uses a weekly pivot point would know this. And this is why I keep telling you guys, when you see patterns, you need to talk to your subconscious and say the obvious, like, there is no doubt in my mind that professional institutional traders use these pivot points. And you say it out loud even. And the reason you do it is you're actually talking to yourself because you need to hear yourself say it. And because you heard it audibly and you thought of it mentally, right? It's getting put into multiple parts of your brain. Your brain actually got the signals from the vibration of inside your ears, the vibration of airwaves, and it gets stored somewhere because it came in through that part of your brain. But you also thought about it. You thought about saying it. And then if you felt stupid because you're saying it out loud, look, I'm talking out loud in my office all the time. If you feel stupid, saying it out loud because you're like, oh, that's ridiculous. But the thing is, then you get this sort of emotional part of your brain saying, ooh, scary, right? And then maybe that gets put part in your brain, but somewhere maybe you'll remember. So the reason you do it is look at this. Let me just put this in. The high of the week Monday morning was weekly M3. What's the target? Weekly M1. That's like stupid, easy, textbook trading 101, beginner, amateur, ridiculous nonsense, first grader stuff, right? Right? No? Well, then it should be a wake up call, right? Should be a wake up call. You should just lean forward now and like write it down on a piece of paper. You just found what you're going to do for the next 100 days is you're going to master this. This is it. You're like, wow, I found my calling for now. I know something now. I know something I need to know. I need to devour. I'm hungry, right? Because of course we also do this on other currencies and stuff too. But it's the same thing, M3 to M1. So if now you know that everyone else knows, what do you call that, by the way? Remember, I'm studying game theory. Ha 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 ha. So if I know that you know that I know that you know, what do you call that? Close. Common knowledge. Okay. So based on common knowledge here, you know what everyone else is going to do because you believe you know, and they believe that you know what they believe. Okay, you get it? I know it's complicated. Wait till you have to draw it on a map. You graph it and stuff. But anyways, based on that assumption now, what does common knowledge say a bear is going to do when we get into the neighborhood of 51 and 52? What is just the common knowledge that all the bears are going to do? Take profit. If they don't, then they're not using weekly pivot points, and and maybe that's the case, but we don't know. But you don't know what they don't know. You can only know what you think they know, and that would be if they're using weekly pivot points, they will take profit. And you hear me in my own opinion all the time, day after day. I'm like, it will not go farther than that. People will sell here. People will take profit there. Why? Because I know what they know, and based on what I believe they know, I know how they should behave. What? So, common knowledge will tell you that they're going to take profit between 51 and 52. So, where are the bears now? It's Wednesday morning, and we already hit our target. The bears are gone. There are no bears. Okay? Got it? So, if there's no bears, hmm, seems like it may be an open opportunity for a bull to get involved. So, going back to Nicky Boy, Nicky 6, Nick T, Mr. T, Windows NT, NT Pro. Um, where do you buy if you're bull on this? Well, that would be the first place. Support. Next, someone else said higher high, higher low. All right, so maybe that's in here based on the higher high. So now let's draw this out, right? Low, high, higher than that high, right? All right, cool. So maybe you do a fib, maybe do a roll reversal, maybe use the pivots, maybe use the Stokes, whatever. Okay. And then the third one is a high higher than that high. Okay. That would be like way up there. So now we got to do a, right? Now we got to do a full move, right? Thursday, Wednesday, change of direction. Thursday expansion, Friday through. So maybe you buy an M2 on Monday. And if that was the case, where's the target next week? What's the target next week? M4. We don't know what that is though. Yeah, you could guess and all that kind of stuff. It wouldn't be a problem. It'd be likely, you just high, low, and close all of this stuff. So on Saturday, if you're a bull and it did head up here, you should be walking around the house all Saturday going, I hope it, please M2, M2, please, please M2, please open at M2, please open at M2. I want to buy it at M2. I want to buy it at M2. Please open at M2. Can't wait for Sunday. Can't wait for the markets open. I want oil to be at M2. Please open at M2. I want to buy it at M2. Just like you did here the previous week. Please open at M3. Please open at M3. Please open at M3. Market opens M3. Oh, I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do. I was a bear last week and I wanted to be at M3 and it opened at M3, but I don't know what to do. Maybe I should buy it. Maybe I don't know what to do. Well, it's so much more difficult if you don't know what to do, right? Oh, look at that M3. Don't know what to do. So much easier. Hey, if you're a bear and it opens at M3, sell it. Your target's M1. Done. Next. Cool, huh? And this has nothing to do with WTI. Initial claims 247. Not so bad. Much better than the weekly average, and I believe last week was better than the weekly average. Canadian housing, I believe a bit of a miss. December import price index, I think it's way off. Interesting. What else? Parker on the FOMC, he is a voter, says that reiterates just now that they still want 3 hikes in 2017. That'll bring some dollar strength. Okay. Housing price index going up in Canada year over year, 12%, 12.3. So that's better than expected. All right. So, but I don't know. It just seems dollar strength, right? And it has nothing to do with any of this news. I guess actually the the better. I mean, we're really doing better. I think that's 2 weeks in a row, significantly less people looking for work or applying for jobless benefits. So the 4 week average is going to improve quite a bit. So that's going to bring some dollar strength. Look for your euro dollar down, pound dollar down, that kind of stuff. And the market looks like it wants to bust me out at break even on my euro yen short. Oh well, doesn't matter. Try again later. Cool. You don't have to say anything. I already know. I heard it from Wayne. Check that out. Hit the target early in the week. So the theory is very often by the end of the week, we will touch the weekly central pivot. The other thing I also have told you over the years is when you do that, I don't know if it'll continue or drop. I haven't seen any consistent pattern. But you would assume it would go in the direction of the prevailing trend. Sure. Well, there's your pound dollar, right? Now that is a nice roll reversal, don't you think? Straight up, straight down, off the pivot. Yeah, but it's a support pivot. Oh yeah, but it's roll reversal. Daily 21, blah 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 blah. So that's cool. Now the question is, if you're a bear, are you going to take the shot? Double top off the weekly central in a long-term bearish trend. Yeah, there's been some bullish price action, but are you going to take the shot? Hojo! Yeah, Hojo took the shot. Cry me a river, cry me a river, cry me a river. You don't have to say anything. I already know. I heard it from you. Bridges to burn, out you to cry. Cry me a river, cry me a river, cry me a river. Do 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 do. So you can see going back to was it last week? There were two situations. If you're a bear, you sell it up high. If you're a bull, you buy it low. And if you're a successful bull, your target's up here. And if you're a bear and successful, your target was down here. Cool. But if you're a bull, you have to look for the buy opportunity low, and if you're a bear, you have to look for the sell opportunity high. Going back to what I said earlier about, someone asked, is this a good place to buy? I'm like, this is the dumbest place you can buy because it's already gone up. Well, yeah, there's some technical resistance, around the 75 area, right? But how far is M4, monthly M4? It's out there, isn't it? Oh, I'm talking about that Aussie dollar. To cry, cry me a river. Sorry, I got 1,000 things going on. Cry me a river. All right, so what else? I think I got time for one more. What do I want to do? I want to rock. Sort of eyeballing the 4 hour 21 on the pound yen, but it's still up there around 41. What else? CAD yen finding support on its daily 21, and it bothers me because I want it to come down. Of course, I want it to come down so I can buy it. But still, why don't I do that? Why don't I do kitty CAD yen? So on the short one, I want this to come down, right? It looks fine, doesn't it? There's the 1 minute. There's the 15. And it doesn't feel like it's going up, right? Then I take it farther out, and it's holding up on this 21. But I got a 5/8 cross down, so I think, and I got a Stokes cross down, I got a MACD down, so yeah, I'm thinking this sucker's gonna drop, you know, 200 pips, and then another 200 pips after that. That's what I'm hoping. Okay. Bit early in the game, but yeah. So we got to get through. Dun, 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 dun. Day dispose a night, night divides day. Gotta sell, I gotta buy to go through to the other side. So yeah, I gotta get through that. Keep a monster drop after 87. Monster drop after 86. Yeah. Well, you got to. All right, let's talk about that. So Nick says he's trying to do one thing, but the market seems to try to do another. You have to remember, market participants haven't figured it out yet. Okay, there are idiots that keep buying it. They're not on the clue train yet, so they keep losing money. One day they'll either quit buying because they're like, man, I keep buying this and I keep losing, or they get on the clue train and they're like, oh yeah. And so you can be in this, 100 pips down, 80 pips up, 100 pips down, 80 pips up scenario. And then all of a sudden we'll just go 100 pips down, 100 pips down, 100 pips down. Because the market will figure it out. And we'll, and I often talk about the third week of January. I say it starts the week after non-farm payrolls, right? But I often talk more, middle to the end of the not really the end of the month. So either the second or the third week, depending on how the month structures. But all of a sudden, the world will wake up, and then it'll just the yen pairs just unwind. And then there'll be a big bounce, and then it'll fizzle down again, and then it'll just kind of move sideways for months. People get frustrated, pound their head against the brick wall, and they lose a bunch of money, and they're like, "Man, this is what I did in November, and I made so much money. Now I do it now, and it's horrible, and my broker's trading against me." Like, no, dude, you just have no idea what you're doing. So yeah, so patience is a very big thing in Forex. I'm really still bummed out about how the Trump election went as far as the market, because it wiped out all the longs and then went up. Ugh. But I've also set up trades for weeks only to see them either bust out, break even, or just literally do nothing for weeks. And I tell people it will not move until you actually have given up, where your spirit is broken. And you're like, it's never going to go up. And then you're going to turn your back, and then they're going to take off. It's just, I don't know, it's a test. It's just a cruel, cruel, mean test. But it happens all the time. So pick your side, pick your strategy. If you're a bear, sell at resistance. If you're a bull, buy at support. If you've lost confidence in the scenario, move your stop to break even. Just do your job. Don't swing both ways. Don't You can't bat on both teams. You're not a broken gate, right? Remember the analogy of setting up an ambush? Your worst case scenario now is you sit there in the jungle with all your booby traps all set up. You just sit there for days, nothing happens. Then you pack up and you go back to base. You have a few brewskis, right? Your mind's playing tricks on me. I make big money. I drive big cars. Everybody knows me. It's like I'm a movie star. My mind's playing tricks on me. Man, homie. Is that, is that the song you're quoting? Oh, you're not even quoting a song. Oh, too bad. That's old school, though. I don't know if anybody even knows that song. All right, somebody's going after my yen. I'm going to get busted out of break even, then it's going to drop. Oh, well. All right, well, oh my gosh. Woo! Yeah, I tried to get some sleep today, and it doesn't feel like I got any, but I'm not as tired as I've been. So, so peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Pray for my yen trade. Be patient, man. Just do your job. It's like going working at a pip factory. What do you do? Oh, I make pips. What's it like? Oh, it's so boring. That scenario, you know you're doing it right. So I'll see you tomorrow at FX Street. If not, have a wonderful weekend. We'll regroup next week, and I think next week's going to be exciting. Yeah, it's beer o'clock, huh? Yeah, I guess so. 8:45 a.m. I'm ready. So, thank you for being a client at TradersWay. And thank you for posting your analysis and sharing your thoughts on Forex.Today. If you're doing all that, I think you're on the right path. Cheers.